Los Angeles Rams take home the trophy tonight. We get reaction from crowds and look at why this Super Bowl has felt different from the past couple years.
A Colorado woman dedicated her life to helping kids with bone marrow transplants, never thinking she would need one herself.
I was instantly this shadow of the person I thought of myself as.
The sister who stepped up and the movement to get Congress to act so there were more success stories.
Let's take a live look at SoFi Stadium just outside of LA tonight, where Rams fans are still celebrating after their team snatched the Vince Lombardi trophy from the Bengals in an incredible Super Bowl 56 comeback. Final score 23-20, and of course, we have to point out the Colorado connections tonight.
We sure do. All right, here's LA Rams owner Stan Kroenke receiving the Vince Lombardi trophy. Kroenke also owns the Denver Nuggets, the Colorado Avalanche, and Colorado Rapids.
Big night. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Allen.
And I'm Brian Wang. Fans from both sides showed up all around Denver to watch the game and show their support.
And as Denver 7's Sloan Dickey shows us, with mask mandates lifted or relaxed, this Super Bowl felt very different from last year's.
We've been waiting 33 years for this moment. This is the pinnacle.
It's been a long time waiting for Bengals fans.
We've been coming here for 7 years plus, and this is what it's all about.
Years of disappointments and letdowns.
From the worst to the best in 2 years. I mean, we were last. We've done it.
Yeah.
We've done it. We're doing it.
And for the first time since the coronavirus pandemic, they can gather to watch the Super Bowl here in Denver, just like the good old days.
It feels good to be back serving people, taking care of people, and hanging out with our favorite regulars here.
Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Wash Park bringing all the smiling Cincinnati fans back to watch the game together.
To just be here, experience something like this, and be open and be fully open where we can see everyone.
Since Denver suspended its mask and social distancing requirements on February 3rd, Jackie Mentone says Sportsbook has been packed with Bengals fans waiting for the big day.
They are awesome. They are true regulars. I mean, have been here every single Sunday. Doesn't matter.
But it was heartbreak for those loyal fans.
I've been through 34 years of losses and bad seasons.
Bengals fans here have experienced losses before, but they say they'll stick with their team.
Win or lose, I'm still a lifelong Bengals fan.
What a game it was, and managers here at Sportsbook say they are thrilled to bring viewers back once again for games like this. So it was a tough loss for the Bengals fans, but a lot to look forward to as bars like this bring people back to watch the games. In Denver, Sloan Dickey, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Sloan. And taking a look at mask mandates in our area, Jefferson, Larimer, and Poudre counties all let their mask orders expire midnight Saturday. Now, tomorrow, Boulder County Public Health will meet to review their mask mandate as well. Our Super Bowl coverage is just getting started. Denver 7's Lionel Bienvenu and the rest of the sports team will have all the highlights from tonight's game, and we're going to hear from Von Miller in just a few minutes.
With war looming even larger, President Joe Biden spoke with Ukrainian President Zelensky in a phone call on Sunday, telling him the United States and its allies will respond swiftly and decisively if Russia invades Ukraine. U.S. officials say in just the last 10 days, Russia accelerated the buildup of its forces, moving closer to Ukraine's border. Putin now has an estimated 130,000 troops amassed on 3 sides of the country, and the West believes it could launch an assault very rapidly. Now, Australia has joined the growing list of countries urging their own citizens to leave.
And Ukrainians living in Colorado are on edge as they follow all of those developments. On this Sunday, we attended services at a Ukrainian Catholic church here in Denver's Sunnyside neighborhood, where Mass is in both English and Ukrainian. People there were praying for peace and for their family members in their home country.
We all have family, relatives, friends, all kinds of people that we know, and we don't want them to get hurt. They just want to be left alone and, and live normally like every other nation.
And Tatiana hopes to take a message of hope to the nation's capital next Sunday as Ukrainians organize a day of solidarity in Washington, D.C.
All right, switching gears now, taking a live look at downtown Denver tonight. If you didn't get a chance to go outside earlier, well, you really missed out.
So nice. It really was. Meteorologist Stacey Donaldson joins us now. And Stacey, highs in the 50s, but it'll be a different story later this week.
It will be. We have some big changes on the way. 57 our afternoon high today. So as you wake up tomorrow morning, it'll still be on the cool side, but we'll be in the 30s and warming up quickly again tomorrow afternoon. Highs right around 60 degrees, but things will be changing thanks to a cold front coming our direction. In the meantime, sunny skies for us tomorrow. This is our next storm. It's waiting in the wings coming this way. So by the time we get to Tuesday night into Wednesday, this is what our radar is going to look like as this storm kind of blows through Colorado. So coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be talking timing with this storm, exactly when it will show up and leave, and what you can expect snow total wise in your backyard.
All right, thank you, Stacey.
All right, just in time for Valentine's Day, a different kind of love story.
I love this one too. A Louisville woman battling cancer that only one of the closest people in her life could help her survive.
Denver 7's Ivan Rodriguez shows us how this love story leads to a new movement for bone marrow funding.
For more than a decade, Tommy McHugh worked with some of the sweetest and strongest patients at Aurora Children's Hospital
to educate them on their diagnosis and the treatment plan, and talking about what chemo is and how it works and why you lose hair.
But in all her years, she never imagined being in the same position as many of her patients until almost 2 years ago, when she started feeling intense pain.
On June 1st, I started having the worst back pain I've ever experienced in my life.
Time went on and doctors could not find a cause. McHugh also started losing weight, but her blood work wasn't showing anything.
Finally, in late August, we decided to do a bone marrow biopsy, and it showed that my bone marrow wasn't working. And it still took a little bit longer to figure out that it was AML.
A type of cancer of the blood and bone marrow.
I was so sick that I never really had a chance to process.
She returned home, but only for a few weeks, as her condition only got worse. The next step for doctors was a bone marrow transplant.
And my sister Amy was a very solid match for me. But the complication there was that Amy had been very, very sick in the very beginning of COVID.
After finding it would be safe for her sister to donate, she did, a gift of love and life.
She often says that she thinks it's crazy when I say thank you. And I say, well, truly, Amy, you're my only chance of getting better.
But McHugh says many people in her position face obstacles to get the care they need.
Ethnicity is a huge component of finding a match.
For McHugh, raising awareness will help others the same way she was helped in a time of need.
Anybody who's in a position to register needs to register so that everybody has an equal chance.
Ivan Rodriguez, Denver 7.
And McHugh had a success story, but that is not the case for most patients who need bone marrow transplants. That's why the National Marrow Donor Program is calling on Congress to increase federal funding to $33 million. That would provide all patients treatment immediately when diagnosed.
And we want to give you a little more perspective on how difficult it is to find a match for bone marrow transplants, especially for patients of color. Taking a look at the numbers now, for white patients, there's a 79% chance of finding a match. Native American patients, 60% chance. Hispanic or Latino, 48%. Asian or Pacific Islander patients, 47%. And the chance for black patients to find a match is just 29%. Now, according to BeTheMatch.org, HLA markers used in matching are inherited, so some ethnic groups have more complex tissue types than others. The organization says the best chance of finding a donor may be with someone of the same ethnic background.
Processing the destruction of the Marshall Fire has been especially tough on kids who lost everything. Denver 7 is committed to continuing our coverage of this fire's impact, and tonight, Community Foundation Boulder County is announcing more than $500,000 in grants for mental health support. Some of that money will get students in Boulder Valley schools the help they need during the school day, paying for 4 mental health advocates for the next 18 months.
I've seen firsthand how this has affected some of these children who lost everything in the fire. Can you help us understand why this kind of mental health treatment is so critical?
It's just been overwhelming, and kids are running out of school buildings. Kids are breaking down. Kids are kind of withdrawing. And if we can be there to intervene, and we've got the people in their school buildings who can recognize that and help them and work with their families as well, I think we've got the best possible chance of helping kids get back to normal and get through it.
That's what we all want too. Now, more than 1,000 Boulder Valley school students were displaced in the Marshall Fire.
Coming up, Women in Blue.
I didn't want to be another kid who was going to be another statistic.
How this academy is giving an inside look at what it takes to be a female on the police force.
Plus, wise beyond her years.
Diana Rollins, and both talented.
How one little girl is highlighting Black Americans in a creative history lesson.
And not feeling the love this Valentine's Day? There's a way to feel better about your breakup while helping animals at the same time.